When you have hair loss, it can be such a scary and deceivingly lonely place. But you know what? You're not alone. You are here with me. Welcome to the Alternative Hair Alchemist podcast. Hi, I'm Deborah Heim. I am a certified alternative hair specialist, a wig boutique owner, and wig wearer myself due to alopecia. And this is my Tell It Like It Is take on all things alternative hair. I also happen to be a certified confidence coach, so I'm going to be sprinkling in some mindset hacks for good measure. So take a deep breath, sit back and relax, and listen to my favorite ways and my best advice on how I help others and help myself to rock that alternative hair. We're going to drop that shame and stigma. What is that about anyway? Now, let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 95 of the Alternative Hair Alchemist. This is Deborah Heim. You can find me at deborahheim.com and verybestlittlehairhouse.com. It's been a while since I recorded an episode, but I get inspired if something comes up or somebody has a question. So don't hesitate to message or email me your questions because I get inspired by sharing what I do know. What I'm going to talk about today is something that probably will happen to you if it hasn't happened to you already. That is your favorite hair getting discontinued. Usually it's both style and color. Sometimes it's just style and sometimes it's color. So I'm going to give you my advice for how I help people through this. The first thing I'd like to ask you to keep in mind is that's what a video consult with me can help you do, because I am a matchmaker between person and hair like no other. I'm telling you, I even amaze myself. And, I get so excited when people walk out the door because it's more than just looking at a picture. When I talk to you, I'm very intuitive, pick up on your personality. I know who has what that's worth it, because honestly, mostly everything out there, it's probably more worth passing by. So I just really do have that talent for narrowing out this stuff. Now, I'm not 100% accurate, but I can eliminate so much trial and error out of your alternative hair journey. And for my clients, when I talk to them, like if you come in for a consult or even on video, by the time the consult's done, I can think of several styles and several colors that are going to look good on you. But you have to agree that they're going to look good on you. Sometimes I think with hair, we have this tendency to kind of want to micromanage, and sometimes if you let a professional give you their opinion, that can be the best thing for you, because it's not just what I like that I take into account. I know tried and true, like what out there is going to work. So sometimes there's often not a lot of notice that a style is going to get discontinued. And it seems like, well, they're not even really thinking about how you feel about yourself and how much you need that style. But you know what? That's business. And sometimes the companies will, if something's not selling really well, although there may be a few people out there that absolutely love that thing, business choices happen. So when something gets discontinued, generally the rest of them are sold by the manufacturer, and a lot of times the internet outlets will buy them up. So sometimes, and I've seen discontinued styles also on Amazon. So usually your bigger vendors will buy them up, and if you comb through the internet sites, you may be able to locate one. But here's the thing. This is what I noticed is when they get an item that's discontinued, they tend to charge top dollar for that item. And you know why? Because they know how much it means to somebody. And that's horrible to say, but sometimes that's just simply a business decision. When something is discontinued, if you can find it, don't worry too much about that price. Keep in mind how much more it will make your life or worth it to you to have it, rather than, oh, well, I could have got a better price elsewhere. And before I go any further, let me just share this with you as somebody with hair loss that's been through it, and as somebody that has taken 3,000 plus women through this. We tend to think more people are looking at us and scrutinizing us than actually happens. You get really used to seeing how you look in the mirror. It becomes like a source of comfort to you. So any change at all can be a shock. So just keep in mind with changing styles and colors, your initial reaction that this will never work may not be the right one, but bottom line is every person that I've worked with had no idea of just how beautiful they are. And I can guarantee you, you are going to look amazing in any style or color that you wear. It's just a matter of getting used to it. You might end up liking even better than the one that you wouldn't allow yourself to stray from just because of fear of the change. My point being is there's always some discomfort in the journey of progression. But when you get to the other side, you end up looking back and it's just like a blip on your radar. You'll remember when you were so panicked, and now it's like, oh, what was that all about? So just keep that in mind. I'm not minimizing your discomfort because I have been there, but you're beautiful and we're going to get through this. So, the easiest transition that I've seen, well, depending on who you are, is when a color has been discontinued and you need to choose a different color. Couple routes you can go. Manufacturers generally have a similar color, even though they're different manufacturers. So, one thing you could do is find a similar style to what you are wearing in the similar color, but by another manufacturer. So, color is sometimes the easier transition because, say, you could go one level up or one level down, or here is even another option. Women dye their real hair every day. This may be a chance to actually try that color that you've been dying to try because now you have a valid reason to do that, if you know what I mean, since your color is no longer available. Take a chance, get brave. I've talked about how I would never have worn the blonde colors out in public. It happened that I was getting used to it in the house, and I ended up leaving without realizing that the new color was on, got compliments, and from then I've never looked back. Really, that right there is the quickest way to get used to something new. It's when the compliments start coming in, then all of a sudden you get that validation and you feel better of yourself and you're off and running. Now, with color, of course, it's always best to see it in person because from a swatch, sometimes you can't tell how it's going to look distributed on the style. Longer styles to me tend to look lighter than a shorter style. If it's a highlighted style, if it's extremely short, you don't see the same highlight effect you see in a longer style. My best advice on that to you is Google the name and style of the wig that you want to see. And I can guarantee you, probably somebody has a YouTube video of at least the color up there. And I find watching a YouTube video of the color is going to give you a better representation than either looking at the computer or even the swatch. And you can order the color rings from places. So that's also another option. But I've found that with the color rings, it's really, there's no better way, one way or the other, to be able to judge what that wig color is going to look like aside from seeing it in person. Which reminds me, if you live in South Carolina, I have good news for you. There is a lady named Nikki that opened up. She is a hairdresser and she has had a hair salon for quite some time, and she's now expanded into alternative hair. And it is Nouveau Hair. And I'm going to spell that for you because it's also the website. Nouveau dot hair would be her website. And she also works by appointment. And I'll tell you, she does some fantastic things with extensions and updos. She's really talented. So if you want to check her out, please do. Another great resource for you to ask is other wig groups, which I'm sure you've probably found several by now. But sometimes in there, a wig sister will have run through the same challenge and will have a lot of solutions to offer you. But if all else fails, there is somebody that does this like me or Nikki that I just mentioned. There are more and more alternative hair professionals popping up. Some of us are going to be better than others, but it's certainly worth a try. It still benefited you because by finding out what's not going to work for you, you potentially saved from ordering that and giving it a try and having to return it. So there's always a benefit to a consultation with a professional. And my biggest tip of all is to look at this change as an opportunity because some of us won't take action until we don't have a choice, right? So if you're somebody that's been particularly tied to a style or color, now is your chance to change. And if you look at it as that opportunity, it's going to make you feel a lot better than if it's something that you have to do. Trust me on this. This is something that I also can help you with. Like, I look amazing in my new hair. As someone who is extremely cynical about affirmations and mindset, it can make the hugest difference in the world. So if you're somebody that thinks negatively about yourself, ask yourself what your go to thoughts are and come up with something positive to counteract them. So, keeping a few affirmations about how great you look in your new style, or that I am beautiful by divine design. And when you start actively thinking the positive, change gets a lot easier. And another thing you can practice is gratitude. Be glad that there are so many styles that you can choose from. And remember, once again, that women with their own hair are dyeing it and cutting it like every month, and they do it without batting an eye. So I can tell you that as alternative hair wearers, we tend to make something often bigger than it is. I am included in that company, except at least I've come to the point in the realization that I know I'm doing it and I'm able to talk myself out of it. Or by having a reliable source, like for me, it's Chris, my husband. I know that he will tell me the truth. So when I ask him how something looks, if it's a new color, new style, I take his opinion and I'm like, okay, he is a verified truth teller. So I'm going to go with his opinion and not mine. And then before you know it, wearing that change of style or color is no big deal. Another example I can give you is that very early on, I had ordered this really asymmetrical curly bob type wig. And as soon as I got it out of the box, I wanted to return it. But of course, it was a final sale. So that thing sat on my counter for like months. And then one day I just put it on and I could not believe the compliments I got on it. And I would not have taken that chance. I would have returned that. So every little baby step you make towards changing your styles is going to help you get to the point where it doesn't mean so much that a certain style or color is gone. And that's what you want to get to. That is what empowerment is about. There is a time that I would not have been caught dead without hair on. And now, just by actively working through it, it's like, hey, it's not such a big thing. And when I share those photos from the photo shoot, what I hear often from people with hair loss is, oh, well, it's different for you. You look good like that. But I'm going to tell you, no, I don't look any better than anybody else. It's quite a compliment. But the thing is that inside, I don't necessarily at one time feel that I did look good at like that. So if your experience discomfort, getting used to something new, or how you are without your hair. Something that we all go through. And when we're going through it, we tend to think that we are the only one. But you know what? You are so much more than your hair. I always say it's hair, but it's not just hair. So, alternative hair is meant to be an empowering thing for you, a thing to give you confidence. And the more confidence you have, the more different styles and looks you can pull off. No matter what look it is, this is what I tell all my clients: start wearing it at home. Because during the day when you're at home, you will see yourself in different mirrors and different lightings, and you will become used to how you look. Oftentimes in my shop, when I have someone sit there for a few minutes and don't look at the mirror, when they turn back around, all of a sudden, in even the second or third time we try a style on, it's like, hey, this looks pretty good. And then they'll ask me, did I try this on before? And I'm like, yeah, 3 times. So trust me when I tell you how you're feeling about yourself, and giving that new style and color a chance is huge in getting to where you're okay with it. Another trick that I know people have tried when you have something new on is go out with your sunglasses on top of it, like a headband, or try a headband. And that will make the transition into that style or color sometimes easier, because it's a focus of attention. When I'm wearing a headband, people will look at me and go, oh, what a pretty headband. So then they're not looking so much at the hair. You know what I mean? Don't forget your clips either. Little claw clips in the front, a claw clip to like do a sloppy updo in the back. Just anything. Like if the bangs are driving you nuts, that's what clips are for. This is another opportunity to embrace having to try something new. I'm telling you, you're going to find things you never expected looked good, and you'll be all the more empowered for it. So, if your style or color has been recently discontinued, do not fret. You are not alone, and there are tons of options out there. If you'd like my help, shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you. So, until next time, thank you for listening, and peace, love, and alternative hair. If you enjoyed this episode, you might like working with me one-on-one even better. You can check out the options at deborahheim.com. You can find my shop at verybestlittlehairhouse.com. And don't forget my Wise Wig advice and support group, also on Facebook. I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, peace, love, and alternative hair.